Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of MediShark segment, and today we'll be looking at diabetes mellitus. Before we will start, I would like you to subscribe, share, comment and like our post. Thank you. So when we say diabetes mellitus, I know there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns that are being raised in our minds each and every day about how, why, and then what is diabetes. But if you delve in with me at the end of this segment, all your questions will be found here. So before we start, what is diabetes mellitus? I would like to give a simple definition, which after here I'll break it down. Alright, so when we talk about diabetes mellitus in a layman understanding, we're just talking about a percentage of sugar, or yes, because another name for glucose is sugar within your blood, and then we have something called insulin. So this insulin, what it does is that it packs an amount of this sugar or glucose and store it like in our various forms, whereby we have food, and then when the food is in excess, we pack it into our fridge. So this is the same way the insulin also play its role. It packs this sugar called the glucose when it is too much in the blood, so that it's going to put it down. In case the body needs it, it's going to pick it and use it back. But in case there is problem with this insulin, then definitely there's going to be a problem. And then if this problem is not well managed and identified early, it can result in this condition called the diabetes mellitus. So when we talk about diabetic mellitus or diabetes mellitus, all that we are saying is that it's a major disorder that is characterized by persistently high concentration of glucose as a result of inadequate insulin or insufficiency of insulin, which impairs the transfer of glucose within the bloodstream into the blood cells. So today we will not be looking at the medicine part of the diabetes. We would like to do some overview of the anatomy, and within the anatomy we'll be looking at the endocrine system, but our major or focal points will be on the pancreatic islet, which is within the endocrine system. That will be our main focal point for today's conversation. So when we talk about the pancreatic islet, it's just about cluster of cells that are within the pancreas, irregularly distributed within the pancreas, and then they secrete their hormones directly into the bloodstream, then to various forms. So we have the alpha cells, we have the beta cells, and then we have delta cells. So our main focus will be on the beta cells. The alpha cells might be needed in the conversation as time goes on, but for the delta cells, I'm sorry, we will not be using it for today, maybe another time. So when we talk about the alpha cells, they are just cells that produces what we call glucagon, and then glucagon is being secreted when the blood glucose level or the blood glucose concentration falls down. So this is as a result when someone is doing fasting, or someone has been away without food for a number of hours. So this glucagon will now convert the stored form of glucose, which is glycogen, back into glucose or simple sugar for the body to use it as energy. Good. Then we will now move to our beta cells, which is also an example of the pancreatic islet. So these beta cells secrete what we call the insulin. So this insulin, what it does is that it responds or is being secreted whenever the blood sugar concentration and also the amino acid concentration is very high, or it is at its surge. So what it does is a lot, and then we are going to look at it. So it makes sure that it balances the concentration of these level of the blood sugar, which is very high. It's going to balance it or maintain it to its minimum point. So first of all, it makes sure that it acts on the cell membrane, so that the cell membrane will get some of this energy of glucose. And as you all know, the cell membrane contain what we call the organelles. The organelles are examples such as the mitochondrion, the lysosome and stuff. All these things, they needed energy. So the insulin is going to act on the cell membrane. They're also going to get some of this high amount of glucose within the blood stream, so that they can use it. It's also going to act on the muscles. The muscles will get enough energy and also store some. Then also on the connective tissues. It's because of this insulin, that's why when we wake up daily, we're able to walk, come back, go about our daily activities, because of the energy that it gives to our muscles. Then secondly, it also converts glucose to glycogen, which is the store form of what? Glucose. So the sizable amount of glucose within the bloodstream is going to pack it and then store it within the liver and also in the muscles. And whenever your body is away without food, or you are doing fasting, and then it seems the blood glucose concentration has fallen down, then our alpha cells will now release the glucagon to break it down to glucose, which is the simplest unit, so that our body can use it. Good. It also helps in synthesis of fatty acid, and it stores them in the adipose tissue. As you all know, fat helps to provide us with heat and stuff. So if there's excess fat also within the body, it's going to store some within the adipose tissues, so that in case there's a day that will be deficient of fat, they are going to compensate back. And also about amino acid. So amino acid are being stored as protein within the liver, and then whenever they are needed back, so can be breaking down into their simplest form, which is amino acid again, so that they can be used by the cells, the body cells. So with all this function, you could now see the importance of insulin. So whenever it is deficient or it is inadequate or there's problem with it, it can cause increase in blood sugar concentration, and then if care is not taken to manage it very well, then you can go on and then become what we have as our diabetic mellitus. All right, so I would like to end it here for today's episode. In our next episode, we'll be talking about the classification, the groups, then move on to signs and symptoms and management and other things as well concerning this particular condition. So my name is Prince. As I said earlier, don't forget to like this episode. Make sure that you share it, comment, and then subscribe. Thank you. See you again in the next episode.